We humans spend a lot of time waiting in lines. People queue up for days in order to get their hands on the latest iPhone or what feels like eons for a table at that hip new brunch space. You may be better off spending time and money on the latter. A growing body of research has shown that experiences tend to make people happier than material possessions. I highlighted this in the article because this is the article's claim. This is the main opinion, if you will, of this article, that experiences make people happier than material possessions. According to this article, you may disagree with that, and that's totally fine, but this is the claim of this article. And even anticipating an experience like a concert, a ski trip, or what better be a really great brunch makes us happier than purchasing the latest gadgets. So look, even the anticipation for an experience makes you happier than buying something, a physical, tangible thing, according to a study published Tuesday in Psychology Science. The study, cleverly titled Waiting for Merlot, Anticipatory Consumption of Experiential and Material Purchases, tracked how about 100 college students and over 2,200 randomly selected adults felt about material goods and experiences. When I'm reading nonfiction pieces like this or articles, I always love to notice when they have statistics, and I like to highlight those because that's their research, right? This is their research base of who they got this information from. 100 college students and over 2,200 randomly selected adults. Okay, so that's the space, who they were studying. People got excited about both things and events, but they tended to feel more positive about experiential purchases. And their feelings about material purchases were likely to be tinged with feelings of impatience. Meaning, I'm going to write on here, that it didn't, don't judge my handwriting, last long. So the material purchases, that feeling of great, this is so positive and wonderful, it didn't necessarily last super long. Okay, we'll keep on going. I think one aspect of that has to do with the nature of imagination, says Amut Kumar, a doctoral student of psychology at Cornell University and one of the researchers behind the paper. If you're waiting to buy an iPhone, you know exactly how many megapixels the camera on the new phone will have, Kumar told Schatz. People often get really creative while planning out a future vacation, he says, and just thinking about all the things they'll be doing and all the fun they'll be having can boost their mood. So even just thinking and imagining about an upcoming trip makes you have more of a lasting happiness than buying something that you already know everything about. That's what that paragraph is saying. Plus, when it comes to experiences, money isn't as much of an issue. The researchers hypothesize people may be competitive when it comes to keeping up with the Joneses, but tend to be less competitive about spending on experiences. Keeping up with the Joneses. Notice how, ooh, where'd my screen go? Come back. It's so blurry. Why is it doing that? I'm gonna go back out and come back in. Yay, there we go. Can anyone tell me what this phrase means, keeping up with the Joneses? Any ideas? Yeah, Callahan?
Like keeping up with somebody?
Okay, like running? What do you think? Now, the great thing about this phrase on here is it has a little number 3 next to it, which means that it's defined on one of these pages. On the bottom of this page right here, I noticed that only number 1 and number 2 are there, but I probably am going to assume that number 3 is down here. So here it is. Keeping up with the Joneses is an idiom referring to the pattern of comparing oneself to one's neighbor as a benchmark for social class or the accumulation of material goods. That's like a hefty definition. So essentially what this means is if you see the people around you, friends, strangers, getting the latest, greatest, newest thing, keeping up with the Joneses means you also want to go buy those things. Sometimes at great cost to you. Maybe you don't, can't afford those things and yet you still want to buy them or find ways to buy them. So keeping up with the Joneses is saying, like, if the Joneses have the latest, greatest, coolest thing, you want to keep up with them and buy all that stuff too. Okay. So it's kind of like, yeah, sorry.
It's just like keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yes. Yes. That would be a great way to bring this idiom into like modern day, for sure. For sure. Okay. I'll keep on going. And as people age, they tend to find more joy in ordinary, everyday experiences like walking or gardening compared to that trip in Fiji, another recent study found. One reason may be that experiences give people the opportunity to bond and socialize. So maybe that community aspect of experiences is what makes it better. Kumar says, even when you aren't guaranteed a ticket to a concert or a taco from the cool new food truck, people often enjoy waiting in line. While waiting for concert tickets, people reported singing songs together, or people would be playing games with each other while they were waiting, he says. And we've got proof of that right here at Shots. Editor Scott Hensley says he could buy tickets online for the Old Ebbitt Grill's annual Oyster Riot, but he prefers going downtown first thing in the morning and waiting in line with his fellow oyster aficionados. That sounds a lot more fun than those Black Friday scuffles over flat screens and Xboxes. Indeed, Kumar and his colleagues compared news reports about people waiting in line and found that long waits for material purchases were more likely to end in violence. We bet nobody got in a fight while waiting for that oyster party. So it's even saying here that waiting in line for experiences, everyone's happy, they're excited, they're all pumped to like go to this, cool new concert or check out this new lunch spot. But people waiting in line for material things ended in violence, people getting mad, irritated, hurting one another. So even that part of it's interesting. We'll be doing this on the Canvas web for a couple reasons. Let me tell you why. All right, so we already watched this clip, but if you need to watch it again or go back to the article, you can. But you're going to be answering this question. Can you buy happiness? Can you buy happiness? So essentially, you'll be responding to that question in at least 80 words, and I'll show you how to count that. You'll need to answer the prompt first. That's your claim. So if your question is, can you buy happiness? Your claim should be, yes, you can buy happiness, or no, you cannot buy happiness. Or if you're somewhere in the middle, you could work your sentence to work that way too. You'll then need to provide examples from your own life, multiple if needed. That is your evidence to describe if you think you can buy happiness. Can you buy it through experiences? Can you buy it through material things? Share some examples for your own life where maybe experiences brought you happiness, but material things didn't. Material things brought you happiness, but experiences didn't, right? Wherever you're falling on the spectrum of this question, you'll need to support it with evidence from your own life. Once you have submitted that, down below, you'll then go back and read through other people's responses. Now this class, you're my last Bradbury class today. So already 3 classes have written on this. That's why there's 171 posts already. So you can read through anyone's. You don't have to only read through this class period's responses, okay? You can respond to anybody on Team Delta that's already in this thread, okay?